see if we can get some folks tuned in. I see some stuff popping up, so get it pulled up. I was trying to clean. I don't know what that line across the top of the screen is on there. Showed up. Kind of looks hazy on my end. I don't know what it looks for y'all. I was trying to polish your screen. I don't know. I think that camera I done about wore it out filming in the dirt and the mud and the nasty with it. But anyway, we out here got a fire going. Chill out and get the film outside this week. Have a cup of coffee. I need to get some wood ready to put on that while y'all getting tuned in. So, how is everybody tonight? Good night to be live. Uncle Sasquatch, Matt Douglas, Anna Black, Sarah, Larry Alexander. So what Matt Douglas, where is that at? The Francis Marion National Forest. What state is that in? Backyard Beasley, Travis Nichols. South Carolina. Good to know that. Vicky Harris. Praying for y'all. Be praying for you. Jimmy Sullivan, good afternoon. Jimmy Sullivan, I got news for you today. Tyler Coco, I'm your Huckleberry. Jimmy, I went down there and put out limb lines today. I couldn't stand it anymore. It was too pretty a day. The water is back in the banks. The only problem is we're on the fall. I don't have much luck with the fall, and I tell y'all what I did. I filmed today. I got down there, and what I had to dig stuff out of my freezer, and I thought I had deer liver. I got down there, and it was a deer heart. So I baited up with it. And me and Brody went and got some live bait shiners and some sun perch. And I didn't get about 10 or 12 of them. So we put out about 20-something lines. I'm probably going to make some trot lines and stuff. I don't know. But I'm excited to be fishing. I'm ready to fish. And I'm in a new area. I may take my 22 or my shotgun and squirrel hunt while I'm down there. Jerome Smith. And Black, we don't do really any teacups. Y'all, internet ain't wanting to cooperate. It usually, I have noticed, it does this about twice to begin with when we first start. And then it won't, after it gets to going a little while, it won't do it no more later on in the show. But like when we first get started, it'll disconnect like 2 or 3 times. It does it every episode, seems like. But if y'all can deal with it, I'll reconnect it. We'll keep rolling. You know, that's just how life is sometimes. It's never perfect. At least we got a good fire in the background. It just makes my soul feel good to have a fire going right there. And fortunately for me tonight, let me turn this fan on over here. I have a little round fan that tilts, oscillates. Well, it don't oscillate. Oscillates when they go back and forward. This, you can just manually tilt it up where it points up. And I blow that smoke out because if it don't, that smoke rolls up there and starts going into our house. I have got to build me some sort of a contraption over this until I can get my fireplace built to where it takes that smoke out, because right now the smoke comes up in here and gets everywhere. So I have got to address this situation before we have very many more fires, because it does put a smoke haze. The smell will filter. It don't really get smoky in the house, but you can smell it strong in the house. So James Morgan, I found out who sent me the knife. Miss Mary sent the knife. She heard us last week on live talking about the knife. It is in my pocket. I've not even used it. I ain't cut nothing with it. I think I cut a box open was it. It is quite smaller than any of my other fish knives, which I am pleased with because the other one was huge in my pocket. I liked the bigger one for if I was in the swamp and gonna fillet a fish with it or attempt to fillet. But now usually I've got a fillet knife. If I know I'm gonna be cleaning and cutting up and cooking fish on the bank, I'm gonna have a fillet knife. But you know, it was longer the blade. But other than that, as far as removing hooks, which is 90% of what I needed to do in scaling, this one's gonna be the ticket. It's got a fish hook sharpener on it. But the fact that it is not so big, it is a lot more comfortable in my pocket. I'll have to say that. So I'm tickled over it. But Miss Mary is the one who bought the knife. I figured that out. And so I did want to give her a shout out for that. Y'all, I appreciate all the gifts, y'all. I don't try to get people to send me stuff. I mean, I share it because I feel like people that send you stuff kind of want recognition for it. I mean, it's just cool to see stuff. And, but y'all, I mean, I've got enough stuff. I've got enough knives. I got enough toys. I've got enough fish bait. But if you want to send stuff, send it. You know, I'll be glad to use it, experiment with it, see stuff maybe that I ain't got. I mean, it thrills my soul to get stuff because it ain't that, hey, I got more stuff. It's that it tells me, you know, people like you. People like what you're doing. People they're happy about this. And that means a lot to me, y'all. I want y'all to know from the depths of my heart, I don't take it for granted. Even tonight, all the people, I mean, there's already 50-something people tuned in, and it'll get to 100 and something before the night's over. Y'all, that thrills my soul because people will take time out, tune in just to listen to me sit here and talk, you know, and interact. And for me, live is a chance for us to all just sit down, have a cup of coffee, have a conversation, fire going, campsite, just enjoy life a little bit. Not really no narrative, no objection, you know, no really a topic. We'll talk about whatever comes up, whatever y'all propose. But I want you to know, y'all, it means a lot to me. I don't take it for granted, and I ain't nothing, y'all. I'm as normal and common as every one of y'all. We just all a bunch of buddies that's hanging out together as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, I'll try to keep up with stuff here. All right, Jimmy, and talking about the chances on the knife, y'all, we're going to be running them to the 16th, I think. I think the 16th is the date that they have set on the benefits for Sam Allen. They moved Sam Allen from the University Hospital over to the Methodist Rehab Center today. He's making progress, huge steps, y'all. He wrote his name this week on a board. They got like a chalkboard thing. I think it's digital, but you know what I'm talking about. So, you know, but they still need your help. They still need our help. They need prayers, most especially. Still a long way to go, but progress is being made. The young man is getting better all the time, so that is good news. There's Miss Mary Anderson. We was talking about your knife, Miss Mary. So anyway, you can buy chances. My PayPal, I've put the information, my PayPal link in some of the videos, but email me at justinpeden@gmail.com and I'll get you information to get money to me, to get chances. Every $10 buys you a chance. If you give me $100, you got 10 chances on that knife. So send as much as you want, and I promise y'all I'm not making a dime. In fact, it's costing me money because actually PayPal is skimming off the top, if you want to know the truth, but I'm making up for it, so it's all well and good. It's all right. Everybody's going to win in the long run. Lasering up some stuff, Laser Addict. That is M4 Laser Works. Good to see you, buddy. Georgia. Charlie Pickerel. Good to see you tonight. A good nap is just good for the soul. Waking up from a nap, Charlie, and getting to see this fire right here is worth it all. Let me back up. I'm inching over there in front of y'all's fire where you can't see. Oh, y'all look, that's a pretty fire. I like looking at it in the screen right there. I can see the screen there. So anyway, and y'all, like I said, I don't know if you caught it at the very beginning. I put out limb lines today. I was telling my buddy Jimmy Sullivan there, it's a little early to be trying to run lines. The water is falling right now. We should get rain, I think, tomorrow evening, maybe tomorrow night. They saying like possibly an inch of rain. So it'll start back rising and rise another foot. Now we went from like 7 foot, which is way down, level with the banks here in this swamp is about 10, 11 foot. Well, it's around 12 today, and it's level with the banks. So 10, 11, 12 foot is full. We was at 15 foot. We went from 7 foot to 15 foot in a matter of a few days. So it is, but when it starts rising, if we get a big rain and it rises a few inches, I mean, if it just rises a couple of inches, the catfish will go to biting. If they're running yet, usually late February, March is prime time here. I'm hitting it a little early just because I want to. I'm kind of scouting out things. I'll probably leave my hooks in this area all along, and I'm probably gonna make some more hooks one day in a video, and so I can add to them. With Jimmy, I'll find out tomorrow. Usually by the time I get through baiting up, I have caught a couple of catfish. I didn't catch one, but now I am thawing out the deer liver tonight. I'll have it with me tomorrow, but now they should have hit. I had some shiners that was 3 inches long. If there's any decent sized fish, I should have caught them. Now they could be a whole bunch of those little, you know, that long and ain't gonna attack a shiner that big. But Jimmy, I seen you catch something here a few weeks ago in a hole. But now where I am fishing, there is no significant, like, big hole in the river. I am way up in some creeks. So it's a little more finicky where I am fishing than being just like in the main big river where there's always catfish. This area, they gonna come in there and leave. And it's, the big problem is it had been so dry all winter. May not be a lot of catfish in there right now, so. they'll have to start running before they get up in there. So, what do y'all want to talk about tonight? What is on your mind? David Bragelson. Hello from Florida. Matt Douglas, I hear a lot of talk about the Alps and the Blues, and I'm going to be honest with you, I have yet to really notice a significant difference in them. I have had both. I like the Alps. But we got blue cat bellies out the other night, and I fried them up. They was fine. But now, you know, that's me. I'm not a, like, picky. Like, if something tastes a little different than something, I don't know. It don't bother me. I've never noticed a huge difference in them myself. I hear a lot of people around here, though, say, oh, I'd rather have the Alps, and they like that head meat. I'm like, it's meat. Travis Nichols, I agree with you. White perch fishing is definitely usually on my mind. And I have tried them in a couple of the places that I can just kind of go catch fish. If they'll halfway bite, I can catch. My daddy wanted to go yesterday. So we ride up to my neighbor's pond and fished a little bit, and they wouldn't bite. And if they won't bite out in that deep water, they ain't going to bite. But now I have got several lakes in mind. If they'll get where they're acting right, I have got so many places that I want to experiment and fish. I don't really have time anymore to fish ponds. I want to go. But now I love the ponds, whatever I can go. You know, I got an hour right after I get through working to run fish. I like to go fish some of those ponds or holes in the swamp that I know right where I can just drive up and fish. But I'm just kind of burned out on fishing them. Sarah wants to clear up that I now know that I pronounced Gillian wrong. I'm lost on that. I don't even know what you're talking about. Charlie Pickerel, I watched Richard Gene and Mama Sue eat sauger. See, we don't have sauger here. I know nothing about a sauger. I couldn't tell you what a sauger is. David Bergelson wants to talk about game fowl. Jimmy's ready for bowfin. I am ready to go ground fishing, Jimmy. I am ready to go hang off me into a grundle and just fight and hoop and holler. I'm going to try to not do all that hooping and hollering when I catch. I'll get excited, but I'm running fish off when I'm doing all that hollering. They'll quit biting, but when I get a grundle, I get excited. I know I'm fixing to eat good when I catch a grundle. I get it. Yeah, I don't know Gillian Welch. Couple Fridays ago. My mind is like a steel trap. It misses most area. It has to step right in it for me to catch it. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I still got the Black Hunter arc living. It's been flooded in our swamp, so I haven't been out, but I just got to where I didn't do a lot of, there's certain kinds of videos that if you do them, you get so many people telling you everything you did wrong and what you ought to do different that you're deterred from making videos, and Black Powder is getting that way too. I quit doing archery videos because I knew I wasn't an expert. You knew you're just sharing and you get so many people that they make you feel like, well, you just don't know what you're doing. You might as well leave it alone. And that's kind of how I got with archery. I'm getting that way with Black Powder. It don't matter what I do. If I get Black Powder out, I get 200. Well, it ain't 200. You get half the comments is about what you ought to do different, how you need to do it, and they tell you how you. And I don't know. I don't mind some advice, but when everybody's trying to tell you everything you did wrong, and they ain't none of them telling you the same thing, so you know they ain't right. They just all guessing, and that's why I about quit doing black powder and archery videos. It just, I don't know, it just gets under your skin after a while. Everybody telling you everything you done wrong. Good musician, whichever way. I'll have to look that up. Welch, Gillian Welch. I don't know. Best way to do something the way you like to do it. Uncle Sasquatch. I'll have to say, Uncle Sasquatch, you're one of the few. I'll tell you though, when people get on a YouTube channel and start commenting about everything you're doing wrong, it's usually because they saw it on another channel. It ain't because they know. It's because they just saw it on another channel and well, I'll tell this person they need to do it like this channel is usually what all it amounts to. The people that really know, they're like, well, they'll figure it out, Now that fan over there gonna get excited. Brenda Bryant, the Survival Buzz, howdy. David, I let my game file out occasionally, but I have a problem. I've got a dog running around here, the scruffy dog. She will kill the chickens if they're out. So she has to be on a chain or the chickens have to be up. They can't all be out together. Roscoe don't bother them. So occasionally I tie her up and let a few out, but usually if I'm gonna let some out, I let some of my Americanas and stuff out. I don't let them out a lot. And obviously you can't let 2 roosters out. You let a pen out and let a couple of roosters out, you ain't gonna have but one when the day's over. Now which one it is, be the toughest one, but you ain't gonna have but one. No, shot collar won't get her attention either. I've got one. Will not work. For a fact, it will not. I had it wide open, and it will bite you. Oh, it'd have her howling. Never check up though. Shot collar won't do it. I used to believe that, but I proved myself wrong. Some dogs, you can shock them like Roscoe. I could shock Roscoe one time with something and he wouldn't do it no more. This dog, ain't happening. It is. It is. There she is. Come here. You goofy dog. She's a little touched in the head. She has got a cut on her foot right now. I don't know what happened. It looks a little. Oh, she don't like you to mess with it. It's been bleeding. She's got a cut on the end of one of them toes, and I don't know what she did. All right, get. And she don't move that she ain't running wide open. Like, she don't just walk from here to there. She runs from here to right there, or from here to right over there. See her? I mean, she couldn't take 3 steps without bolting. Oh, Lord. But anyway. Well, I'm going to keep doing black powder because I love it. With everything that, like, here's a for instance. I did a video, gun won't shoot, won't group. I turned around the next week, I did another video. Okay, now we know why it won't shoot. This sabot that is supposed to be tight going down the barrel, you gotta do about, supposed to have to shove it down. Well, it'll just fall down the barrel, like it just floop. Okay, well, we know the barrel's rusted out. It don't matter what you do, it ain't gonna group. A rifle has to have a smooth twist. I mean, if it's, everybody's like, well, put thicker patches and make it tighter. Well, this ain't a smooth bore. It's got jags, and I mean, it's pitted up, and they's, so People still commenting on the video. Well, try this, try this. I mean, they commented on the video where I said the barrel is rusted out, so that is what's wrong with this rifle. It's not going to shoot. And I still had people commenting on that video. What you need to do is you need to put thicker patches in there. If you put thicker patches, it'll still shoot. If it was a smooth bore, you're right, it would, but it ain't a smooth bore. You take a regular rifle, any 30-06, 270, whatever, and you let it, the riflings just get dirty, like a lot of lead gummed up in them or something, and they be no rust, smooth through there, but the riflings ain't cleaned out good enough. It won't group. The reason I know this is my daddy had a 280 he bought, old caliber gun, or an old gun, and he really wanted it. Well, he said that 280, said you can't hardly find bullets for it, so he got stuff where he could reload them. That's his hobby, likes to reload. He couldn't get it to group. He cleaned that barrel and cleaned that barrel, it wouldn't group. Well, he finally really just soaked that barrel, and I'm talking about spent a half a day scrubbing it and got, I don't remember what he used, but he got the riflings clean. It started stacking bullets. So you take one that the riflings are rusted out, it's not going to shoot. I don't care what you stick in it. And you get people that steadily comment, I got one, I put thicker patches in mine. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And they just keep, it's like the fishing pole. I broke the fishing pole. There's an eye right there, and an inch past that eye, it was broke off. I mean, there was a piece sticking past the eye about that long. And I know 30 people comment, tell me, well, you can go to Walmart and just get an eye and put on there. Well, why I need two eyes this close together? I didn't figure that out. I just snipped the inch off, and it's got an eye right there on the end now. People still comment after I told them that, put an eye on the end of it. I'm like, I think people, they watch like 5 minutes of a video and make a comment and turn it off, and they never really watch. They don't know what really happened. I'm going to start like giving stuff away like over at the end of a video just to see if people watching the video all the way. I know a lot of y'all are, but some of them people ain't. And it tickles me at times, but I'm like, I mean, you sit there and do a whole video like to tell somebody this is why this is, and they still don't get it. I don't get it, Big Dan. I don't get it. Nope, Uncle Sasquatch, in fact, with it pitted up, it ain't doing nothing but slowing the bullet down with it catching and hanging in them rough patches. I'm your Huckleberry. You didn't say nothing when I stuck that screwdriver in that electrical box. Oh, Lord. Laser Addict, that Temu gear, that got another fella fired up the other night. He called me a sellout. Said I done sold out. Oh, he couldn't believe I was selling that Temu crap. Said he would never buy Temu. I said, well, I don't care. I mean, anyway, I ain't even gonna go there. He ain't no longer with us. He can't. He's still looking for Spirit of the Outdoors. Don't know why it ain't coming up on his phone. He's no longer able to see it. Life's too short to deal with them kind of folks. Yeah, I've done a few of them, Travis. I've welded, and they told me it was gonna melt and stick to my glass, and I'm like, I don't care. Let it stick. Let the loose end drag. I mean, it's a 06 model truck. I mean, the windshield's cracked. It runs across. The windshield wipers is flopping, and just, if the welding splatter wants to stick to it, let it stick. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. I mean, this ain't a Bentley hen we dealing with. It's just a Chevrolet truck. Oh, Lord. Hickory smoked pork fish with apple shooting. It was fine bits of actual pie filling. Smoked paprika, Celtic salt, mozzarella quesadillas. Yum, yum, get you some. Sarah, eat your heart out. Mama cooked me some turnip greens and cornbread and fried chicken. Yep. You just don't beat that. You just don't beat. You can't trump turnip greens and cornbread and fried chicken. That's up there. Steak down here. Lobster way down here. Fried chicken way up here. Turnip greens way up here. Grinnell, I'd have to get a ladder to show you where it's at. Ain't that right, Jimmy Sullivan? Oh, Lord. Brenda, yeah, I have some fun with them. And I usually, if I'm doing something, I'm going to usually leave something in a video just to make somebody go, hey, you need to put your glasses on. Where's your gloves? You got your steel-toed boots on. I figured when I was wiring that box up yesterday, I'm sure there was somebody worried about the code there, There ain't no code out here where we live. Apple pie filling, pork chops and stuffing dish. I can't say that I had. I mean, I've had apple pie filling, of course, but pork chops. Deer neck in the smoker, smoked some greens canned from last year on the stove. Can't do cornbread right now. We trying the no carb thing. I ain't gonna make it. Yeah, I probably wouldn't either, buddy. I'm gonna be honest with you. If they ever take fried chicken wings from me, just put me in a grave. Put a toe tag on me and say, old boy lived a good life. He enjoyed every minute of it because I doubt I'm gonna quit eating it. I think, the only time being a fat's problem's if you trying to be a model. I mean, Paul said to die is gain. I know y'all worried about dying, but I'm not afraid of dying. The Lord's gonna call me home one of these days, and I mean, I ain't gonna put it off. If he says, son, you ready to come tomorrow? I'm gonna say, yes, sir. Y'all trying to prolong heaven. I mean, what in the world? Lord Jesus. Charlie, I usually free up a lot of folks in. I usually free up a lot of people, eh? I'm a topic of some good conversation, I promise you. Sometimes my nose is itching, my ears is burning. Lord, Lord. Outdoors dreadhead. If the Lord said it's time to come on home, I'd have a smile on my face. I'd get my Bible out. I'd read the 23rd Psalms, probably one of my favorite scriptures, and then I'd go over there and I'd read Mark chapter 15, the end of it, or is it 16? Take me on home, Lord. Paul wrote it. He said to die is to gain. I ain't afraid of dying. I ain't wanting to die now. I want to live here long as I can. But I'm not going to live here miserable so I can live here longer miserable. That don't add up to me. But everybody has their own idea. You ain't supposed to think like me. I'm just telling you how I think. And I mean it. I ain't making that up neither. But now we don't eat healthy here, but we don't just like deliberately like live off of sweet cakes and stuff. Michelle makes some, I don't eat a lot of sweets. She made cookies last night. I've eaten a handful of cookies probably last night and today. I've eaten 3 or 4 today. But I mean, not no whole pile, but we don't. Usually I come in and grab some leftovers from supper last night for dinner. In fact, she warmed up some stew today that was left over from a week ago. We had it in the freezer, actually. Eat that. We're trying to eat stuff out of the freezer, get it done. Because if we ain't careful, we'll go into gardening season and the freezer still be full. So, oh, but we don't overeat. I'm gonna tell y'all, you want to regulate and diet. The first thing you need to do is if you decide, hey, I am not healthy and I need to change my eating habits, go to water, drink water. Drink water during the day, water for every meal. Just soft drinks are key. But I cut out soft drinks several years ago just because they was expensive. I stopped going into convenience stores. When I pull up and buy gas, I pay at the pump with a card. I never go in that store. That is the biggest mistake you can make, is to walk in that store, because you're going to come out with a candy bar, a bag of chips, and a soft drink every time. So stay out of the convenience store, and that'll solve a lot of your problems. Don't buy a whole bunch of sweet cakes. Brody, we get a few along for him, but not much. We usually make cupcakes or something, and he eat about 8 the other night. We realized we can't be making no bunch of cupcakes for him. So anyway, but after that, when I eat one plate of food, and that's it. It's real tempting to eat a plate and go, man, that was good. I'm going to go get some more. No. Don't do that. That's some more that you fixing to go load up. That's your dinner tomorrow. You put that in the refrigerator. No, that's dinner tomorrow. Don't eat it tonight. And go on. It's hard the first few times you do that, but after about a week of it, you're full after a meal. One plate of food, I'm done. I really don't want no more. There'd be peach cobbler sitting there, and I'm like, nah. I'm stuffed. I don't need no more. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. But as far as me being like, hey, I want to eat that and I can't, I'm not eating that no more. I ain't doing that. I'll eat anything I want to. I'm going to regulate how much of it is. But now with the soft drinks, I really didn't. I mean, I was drinking and it got where I didn't like this or that. And yeah, I need to put a log on it, Jerome. No, we got some cookies in there. I go through and grab one, but if I need a snack during the day, I usually grab an orange or an apple. Just kind of, or either I go down to the garden and get me a turnip. Oh. You put a dab of cayenne pepper on that dog's cut, you're going to get bit. That's just a fact. That dog's crazy. She spent a year of her life on a chain because she bit old Brody one night. You have to watch that dog. Most people would have done put her down, but we like her, so Brody kind of instigated it. Outdoors, Dreadhead, we eat one meal a lot of times. There's a lot of mornings that we don't eat breakfast at all. Some mornings we'll fry eggs. Some mornings we don't ever eat nothing. And there's times that I don't eat the morning and dinner. I'm busy. If I'm here and walk to the house and think about it, I'll eat. But to say, hey, I stopped at 12 o'clock and took my lunch break and eat a healthy lunch, I don't always. If I come through the house and there's something left over to eat, I eat it. If they ain't nothing just to warm up and eat, a lot of times we eat supper and that's it. Which is what they say is the worst meal of the day to eat, because you lay down and it, sticks to you, but I don't know. Matt Douglas, you built a good fire. That's good oak wood. I'll tell you how. That wood has been laying there, some of it, and been wet. And I put some dry stuff on top. And it's good solid wood, and it's been up under here, so it don't burn up that fast. This is where you get burnt. But we ain't gonna be all that got awful long tonight. A couple hours and it'll be over with. I don't need no roaring fire going. The carnivore diet yesterday. I usually do a seafood diet. I eat what food I see put in front of me. My 7-year-old said, there's a Brody on Top Wing trying to get my kids into might start a Friday night tradition here. I'm your Huckleberry, thank you. Them biscuits is good. Now, she's made several different recipes. She's done got decent enough at biscuits, like whatever we out of, she can figure out something else to throw together. We still have biscuits, but now, we don't eat a lot of biscuits. I love biscuits. That's probably the one thing that'll cripple me one of these days. I'm not going to give them up totally. But now, we don't eat biscuits every morning. I mean, we'll get up sometimes and have biscuits, and if we have biscuits for breakfast, I'm having biscuits for dinner. I come through and get a biscuit at dinner, and I'll put something on it, you know, whatever's left. If there's meat laying around, put meat in it. I'll put mustard on it. I'll put jelly on it, something. But one thing, I'm not real picky about food. You know, like some folks, when they eat a steak, well, it's got to be cooked to perfection or they going to whine about it. Me, you can burn it, you can cook it raw, it don't matter, I'll eat it. Now, I prefer it cooked medium rare, you know, a little more than pink in the middle, but good and brown on the outside, and that's the way I like it. And I like it that's, you know, seasoned good enough when you cook it that I don't need no steak sauce, nothing. That's the way I like it, but now I can eat it any way it's fixed, and, you know, I'm all right. But anyway, lion's mane mushroom. Danielle Reynolds, lion's mane, turkey tail, reishi. I use turkey tail mushrooms pretty regular. I'll put them in my goldenrod tea, build your immune system up. The lion's mane, you need to dry it and make a tincture out of it and take a couple of drops every day for your mental health and your brain. Yeah, Diane, I know what you're talking about. Just grab a biscuit and eat it. I mean, just go at it. You can't go to Hardee's and just eat a dry biscuit. You're going to have something to soak it with. Olive Branch. We usually come up that way to DeSoto County. We have pottery in the Gift Horse in Germantown. We had it, and I haven't heard from Patricia's in Collierville in a while. Somewhere else, there's another little, I know we got it in Corinth, but anyway. If you're in the Gift Horse in Germantown, they carry Southern Mud pottery. Biscuits and milk. Outdoors Dread Hell, what do you know about that cornbread and milk? Do y'all ever do the milk and cornbread for dessert? You know, we take a glass like this, mason jar, and we fill it about half full of cornbread, about 3/4 of the way full of cornbread, and then we pour milk all the way up right over top of it and sit there with that jar and a spoon and eat that for dessert. And now that I'm thinking about it, now y'all done got me wanting some. That's what I want right now for a snack is milk and cornbread. Milk and cornbread will stick to your ribs, though. If you're trying to watch your weight, you'll definitely be able to see it in a little while. Like a week. Hey, y'all, I've been losing weight. I've been pulling on these britches. I thought about today of poking me another hole in this belt right here. It already in there about wraps around me. If I keep poking holes in it, that thing's going to go all the way around me. But, y'all, I usually lose weight in the wintertime because I do so much walking in the swamp, the woods and stuff, and chopping wood. I get more exercise in than I do in the summer. It gets so hot here, you can't exercise, do a whole lot in the summer. You'll die. Sweet milk or buttermilk is as good as it gets. An onion, whoo, Larry, I don't know that I have thrown no onion in it. I may have to try it, though. Is it good with onion? You know, it never crossed my mind to put no onion in it. I didn't think about no onion in no cornbread and milk now. You got me concerned with that, Larry. Are you joking with me, or is that a serious thing? Are you on some other subject? You got onion going with something else up to him? That's like them old boys down there keep telling me to put vinegar on that griddle. I'm gonna tell you, I just hate to put vinegar on my griddle. Good mushroom book. Matt. Matt, what region are you in? Where are you from, Matt? You're up in South Carolina, ain't you? Oh, most books are regional. I have a book here that is Southeast or the Gulf Coast states mushroom book. But it is a good identification book. As far as one that is just most of your plant books is going to cover your basic mushrooms that are medicinal. Now, just foraging mushrooms, you need to Google a foraging book because in your area is going to be different than what I've got here. Peterson's Field Guides puts out some really good books. That would probably be my first place to go. I don't know right off the top of my head. Matt Douglas, now I can't cook without onions. I love onions now. Don't get me wrong on the onions. I just ain't thought about putting them in milk and cornbread. I mean, my milk and cornbread like cereal, you know. Have you put onions in your cereal? I don't know. But now, hey, I like that. I probably ought not say this. We call it Mexican cornbread, where you put the jalapeno peppers and some corn and different things in there. It's good. Me and my buddy Jose, we went up into one of the Vowels restaurants here, and of course he came from Mexico, obviously, and he talks as country as I do now. We walked up to there to plate lunch, and the woman looked at and she's usually, she'd say, "You want cornbread, regular cornbread or Mexican cornbread?" So I pulled up there one day, and she saw him standing beside me. She said, "You want, what kind of cornbread you want?" And Jose leaned up and said, "We want Mexican cornbread." She didn't know what to say. I mean, these days, you don't know what you can and can't say because everybody thinks everything is offensive, and for the most part, most people ain't trying to be offensive, I mean, nobody's really means anything by anything. And I think most people with any sense don't really take it of offense unless they just looking for something to gripe about. But it was funny. He said, "We want Mexican cornbread." Oh, he could get away with it, though, because that's where he's from. Me and him had a lot of fun together. Shaped like a corn cob. Matt Douglas, I got one of them cornbread pans that makes the cornbread come out like a corn cob stick. My mama faithfully uses hers. My mama, she never cooks a meal that she ain't got cornbread in that corn cob pan. I think it makes like 8 sticks, 6 or 8. I think 8. Larry, now I'm out here, can't even go get me no milk cornbread because I'm live before your eyes. And I want milk cornbread. My coffee done got cold. It is about 55 degrees out here. So it's nice weather out tonight. Been using Google Photos to identify mushrooms. It seems to work okay with Facebook Mushrooms Group. Yeah, Outdoors Dreadhead, you are on the money. That is what I do. If you've got local foraging groups, medicinal plant groups such as that, follow them, because whenever things are appearing in your area, pictures of it will start popping up in those groups. And you'll know, oh, this is what everybody's finding right now, and you'll know to be looking for that. Because like turkey tail mushroom, fall through the winter, you got turkey tail mushroom growing. Hot summer, dry weather, not gonna be many mushrooms. Early this spring, I'll hit some chanterelles for a while. Then they get hot and dry and they'll be gone. If we got a good wet fall, I can load them up during the fall of the year too. If we have a wet fall, we'll have loads of chanterelle mushrooms through the fall. Now, chanterelles are not medicinal, obviously. And of course, now if it's dry, you're not gonna have any mushrooms of any kind. They require moisture to grow. But now, like right now, I've seen a bunch of oysters growing on the side of a dead tree down there this afternoon. They were a little far gone to be picking, and I was catfishing, so I didn't get them. But they, that's one of them things. You looking at those foraging groups, you're gonna see what's popping out. You're gonna see what's coming up and right there in your area. And everybody's area is different. Like if you're in the foraging group in my area, I'm gonna be finding stuff that ain't even popped up in your area yet. But now the one thing I want you to take advantage of is the ramps y'all have up in y'all's area. We don't have them here. Here's the next thing. Whenever you find something, take a good picture of it. Take a couple of different angles. If it's mushrooms, take a top side picture. Take an underside picture. And then you can ask questions and ask, because if you just got one picture of that mushroom, the gills under it tell you a lot. And if you're really trying to identify a difficult mushroom, you need to learn how to take a spore print. Will make a big difference. But a lot of those different things will help with mushrooms. But once you take a couple of pictures of it, then you can get on Google, and I type in what I think it is and pull up all the pictures. And if I look at 10 pictures and I'm like, yeah, that's what I got. Yeah, well, then I'm okay with it. If it just resembles one picture that's on there. But now, as far as like using Google Lens to identify it for me, I use Picture This. Picture This is pretty accurate with plants. Mushrooms is difficult though. I have a mushroom app, and you have to take a top side and an underside picture, and it's still hit or miss, because mushrooms, they can be a lot of them that are very similar. So Sarah, you wouldn't eat the brownies out of the corn cob iron pans. Oh, Martin Meltzer, you have missed everything. We through. You might as well leave. Oh, Lord, I don't know. We've talked about a little of this, a little of that. You know how we go right here. We chasing mushrooms right now. We'll be seeing fairies next. Just be careful. If you find a mushroom and it is growing directly in a pile of cow crap, be real careful with it, because you really might see pink elephants and fairies here shortly. Uncle Sasquatch, you up in there where y'all find the morels. We don't have morels here. I have never found a morel mushroom. I guess it's either morel or moral. I don't know, but either one. We don't have them here. I've looked for them and looked for them. They just don't grow this far south. They can, but they're in certain. Here they so sporadic that there's not many of them. They're not like everywhere. Like there's been times with chanterelles I could go down there and literally load the back of my buggy level full with them if I'd have wanted to. But y'all know that all mushrooms are edible. Just some of them are edible more than once, right? You can eat all of them one time. You just might not ever eat another one. Might be your last mushroom to ever eat. So anyway. Well, Matt Douglas, I know an old boy one night talked to a stuffed deer. He talked to the head for 30 minutes, and then he got up and went outside, and they said, "Where you going?" He said, "To see if the other side's sticking through the other side of the wall." He said, "To see if his legs are sticking out the other side of the wall." He is burnt. He is burnt. I'm telling you, he is burnt. He's even more burnt today. Morel. Morel. Creek bottoms and dead ends for morels. They told me to look for ash and hickory trees. Dead ones, too. The ones on the hills. I don't know. Anyway. Laser, no fella rode the purple school bus to the moon and back with them cow patty mushrooms. Yeah, I've been on that bus. It'll leave lasting effects if you ain't careful. I wouldn't recommend it. After you eat a few of them, you better hang on tight, 'cause you got a little while to ride. You better not be busy for a few hours. Well, y'all, my coffee is cold. Oh. Well, y'all, I was going to tell y'all I had a catalog show up yesterday. The Lord must have knew it was on my mind. It was from the Fishnet Company. And y'all, they had all kind of hooks. Eagle Claw is back making a 7/0 hook. When I go to Big River, I normally use a 7/0 hook for hoping I catch big cats. And then I usually rig jugs up with smaller hooks to catch smaller cats. But anyway, the catalog out is from the Fishnet Company down in Jonesville, Louisiana. My question is there egg sinkers? Does any of y'all order egg sinkers? Where is the best place to order egg sinkers? I either want 1/2 ounce or 1 ounce is good for here. They heavy enough to pull the bait down in the water. If it gets real bad current, they'll swing back some, but not really a problem. I can pour some of those big bank weights, they call them, but mine only goes down to like a 2 ounce or I don't know. So they're too big, really. And I don't like the way, I like the egg sinker because I can slide it on the line and keep it. I just like the way it works. Little dog down there barking at something. I don't know what she's at. Oh, Lord. I'm mad and he busted up a Tupperware party with that. I feel sure he did. He's about like Uncle Versi. When Uncle Versi come in, the ladies' auxiliary was having that pie cooking contest. And Uncle Versi come walking in and grabbed him up a bowl full of one of them pies they had just took out of the oven and popped it in his mouth. And it like to have burnt all the hair off his tongue. Uncle Versi said, pooh, and spit it right back in the plate. Looked around at them women and said, many a fool tried to swallow Dad. All right, well, here was my question. If you order the egg sinkers, they have size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. They don't say what ounce, what weight. On that fishnet company, is that size 1? Does that mean a 1 ounce weight? Because you could order like 80 of them for $30, which would solve my problem. But you don't want to order 80 of the wrong size that you don't want. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I may call them and be like, Larry, I don't need a fish lead mold, and I'll tell you why. I was saving my lead in case I need to make bullets with it. I don't want to melt it up to fish leads because I lose them with fish leads now. I have done lost a bunch down there trying to zero a muzzle loader that the barrel was rusted out on. Sent them sailing. I guess I could just take a drill and drill a hole through them round balls. You know, I tried to drill a hole in a round ball, and that thing broke my drill bit off in there. I did 2 of them that way, broke both of them. I think it's because I had them clamped in a vise or something. I don't know. Must have been squeezing it in, kept biting on that bit. Y'all, if I go get me another cup of hot coffee, y'all won't leave while I'm gone, will you? Look at that, I splashed that right over there on my iPad. Whoa, it like to block somebody. I don't know who I like to block. Larry, it may have been you. I just about fired you and didn't even realize it. I'll be right back. Well, y'all, while I was gone, y'all let the coyotes get cut loose. Y'all, them coyotes is right there. That ain't a dog, Brenda, that's coyotes. That's coyotes. Oh, up north, I just seen that. I went and got this girl. You know, she ain't even in there. I went in there. I don't know where they went. Linwood Vowell, good to see you, buddy. Sarah, now you come back now, you hear? Don't be gone long. David, I done walked over there and wanted to stand by that, but now it ain't middle of summer. It's about 50 degrees out here, but it feels good. Yeah, that dog's right here in the yard. See her running across back there? But now we got all the neighbors' dogs down through yonder excited now carrying on. But now them coyotes was right out here. They ain't nowhere back there. Brenda, she don't like that at all. I don't know where Roscoe's at. I don't know. I ain't seen him. I hope he's in the house. Roscoe. Yeah, you stay in there. Yeah, old Roscoe's in the house. He's laid up on the bed, so that's where he needs to stay. Matt, we need to be putting out some traps, looks like. I can trap coyotes year round. The problem with coyotes right now is everything's wet and it's hard for me to keep my stakes in the ground. And I had converted over to some ground anchors, but they don't normally come up this close. And I don't know why they cutting up so right there this close. Oh, Jerome, that fire's in good shape. Good shape. Oh, yeah. I need to drag that log around a little bit, but it's got plenty of wood on it. I put a big old stick on there. But now I will tell y'all this. Whoa, I made a mess right there. Well, I got two things I'm gonna tell y'all. I enjoy poking around in a fire. I really like prodding and poking in a fire. If I'm camping out and I'm sitting there just looking at it, I'm gonna have a stick of poking at it. I can't stand it. The next thing is I was at an antique store the other day and I didn't see a price tag on it. I was scared to look, to be honest with you. But there was this thing in there. It was an antique job. It had these stainless, well, I say it was stainless, it was silver. Had these fingers that grab that log, and you had this deal and you could grab that log and move it around in that fire. Yes, sir. It was like them garbage grabbers, but this was an old one, and it was for grabbing the log in the fire and moving it around. And I told my wife, I said, look at yonder. I said, you could handle that wood in that fire with that. But now, y'all, them antique stores, we went to Iuka Monday and delivered pottery and went by Bay Springs Lake, and we went into some antique stores, Tupelo, and I bought a rolling pin that was this long. I give $27 for a rolling pin. This big around and this long. And I wanted it because I've just got a little old bitty one that I've been rolling my clay out with, and I was like, that big one, boy, I can roll it out. So I went up there and laid it on the counter, and the guy said, oh, it's going to have biscuits. I said, no. I said, I got tired of them little ones. They just leave pop knots on your head. And I said, I wanted a big one that'll knock me unconscious. I said, that way I can at least miss part of the fight. He just looked at me. DeSoto, I'm going to do a video on making some seed. I really need to go get some potting dirt. I may go down here and try to collect some stuff. I do sometimes, Dan. I may do that. That may be what I do this year instead of, because you have to be careful buying stuff. You'll inhibit a bunch of fungus and disease into your stuff. But I ain't going to start no over amount of stuff because I'm going to fish this year. But I am going to start some tomatoes, and it is time right now to have your tomatoes started. Tomatoes and your peppers, get them started. Now that's indoor. If you're going to do them outside, you might want to wait a little while. I'm bad to wait till on over. If I wait till way on over in the spring, like to do some of my peppers that I ain't just in no big hurry with, like I'll do some jalapenos this year. I take the milk jug and hang it up because I can hang them outside and just forget about them. And it's like a greenhouse, and they'll explode in there. Oh, so anyway, oh, that's so good. Y'all don't, yeah, that I'm gonna tell y'all that backwoods grind coffee is some of the best coffee I've ever drank. I like the camp. We got the firehouse or something right now. I can't remember now what the name of the one we're drinking on, but the other bag I had originally, the first bag was the best one. Groundhog Day, he said we have an early spring. I don't know if he saw a shadow or didn't. I don't know which one's which. I don't keep up with it. But my wife did say that the groundhog said we was having an early spring this year. So there's that. I say bring it on. I like winter. I like wearing my winter clothes. I mean, I don't mind it, but now I'm ready to go fishing. I'm usually looking forward to cool weather because I want to hunt. I'm over hunting. My hunting season's been terrible this year. I don't know. I just ain't been into hunting. I hadn't trapped this year. I don't know. I guess I worked on these projects and stuff through the good part of the season. And then when it got cold, everything, I got sick, and then my buggy gave me so many problems, and I finally about got it straightened out. I don't know. This has been one of the worst hunting seasons I have ever had. I hunted less than I ever have hunted, and I don't know why. I'm still going to go squirrel hunting here, though, a few times, but now the acorns is gone now, soured all the rain. But anyways, we're going to do a lot of fishing. I can told you that. I got several new places that I have not crappie fished. I want to crappie fish. But now, I'm going to tell y'all something I'm planning on doing this year. Now, obviously, we're going to hammer some grunnel. I love grunnel fishing. We're going to catch some grunnel. I ain't never really targeted catfish with a hand pole much, like tight line and go set up on the river and like we're going to see how many, if we can catch some big catfish on a pole. I want to do that. Yeah, Paul, we're going to I put out limb lines today. I made that video today. That video will be up in the morning. I'm going to make some more, and we're going to be running them on and off, depending on the weather, depending on other stuff going on, how often we check them. I may pull the bait off and leave them for a little while and rebait them up. So anyway, we if they biting good, I'll run them hard. I was reading comments and I get sidetracked, and then I had to regain my train of thought. I ain't been deep sea fishing. I went saltwater fishing one time with Hayes Davis. So, and I may go. I've got a couple of invites this year to go. Jeffrey Gray said he'd take me, and then I had somebody else around Mobile said they would take me. And y'all, I want to address something else. If you seriously like, hey, come go fish with me, if you just leave that in a comment somewhere, in a week's time, I won't never find it. If you serious like, hey, I want you to come go fishing with me, you need to send me an email. Or at least make sure you get up with me on Messenger. I mean, if I've talked to you on Messenger, like on my Facebook, on the Spirit of the Outdoors page, then we good. But, like, don't just comment something, hey, come go fishing, because I ain't never going to find that or remember who said, because y'all, I get so many messages. I enjoy reading them. I try to get back to as many as possible. Once a video is uploaded and I've, like, went through the comments for a day or so on it, I go on to the next video. It's very rare for me to see comments on an old video. Sometimes it pops them up. Most of the time it don't. And that's YouTube, and I'm very rare that I'm going to go back. I've got so many videos, I can't go back and just pull up every video and check to see if there's new comments on it. So, if you really need to get in contact with me, you need to get me on, like, my Spirit of the Outdoors Messenger page, or either send me an email. And I got low battery popping up. Well, I have shot the battery on this phone. I mean, let me go get a charger and hook to it before it dies on us. Y'all, I'm bumping your camera around. I'm getting plugged up over here. All right, I think I got y'all fired up where you won't quit on me now. Oh, Lord. I had to keep I have run this battery on this phone. In fact, you'll see tomorrow. In the video, I've got to finish editing it. I started editing it while I was waiting on 7 o'clock to get here and supper to get done. My wife did cook turnip greens and cornbread and fried chicken upon my request, so big thanks to her. I very seldom get fried chicken. I love fried chicken. She don't like to cook a lot of fried foods. I love fried foods. But anyway, I was editing the video. You'll notice that all of a sudden it just like the video ends. There's no like, hey, thank y'all for watching, such as this kind of business. And there also ain't no introduction on the video because I got my Placino rod holders, so I go over there to my dad's shop and I mount it on the wall where the boats are to hang his rods in because he keeps throwing all of his rods over in my boat. And I have to move them back and forth from this boat to that boat depending on which boat I'm taking. So I put him some rod holders up there, Joe, you know. And it was a good thing to do. I mean, he needed a place to put his rods. So they're all hanging up and out of the way of the boat where I ain't got to keep moving them, or he ain't got to keep moving them, either way. And so I filmed that, and then me and Brody go get bait. So I filmed that, and I was like, well, I don't know which part I'm going to put first. Well, I fooled around and never did an introduction in the video either. So tomorrow's video ain't going to have no introduction or no closing. We just going to take off the fishing, and then you just going to vanish. I mean, it's just all of a sudden, well, that's it, I reckon. Oh. Uncle Sasquatch, I struggle with YouTube's comment. They don't. YouTube is not really user-friendly for an artist, for somebody creating. But how could it be improved? I really don't know. You know what I mean? It could be improved, but. And the next thing is they're pushing shorts. Because Instagram, and I do Instagram Reels. If you go, and that's why my Instagram is as big as it is. It's 22,000 strong. They like shorts and reels. I mean, you just sit there scrolling through like 60 seconds and 90% of it is garbage. Nothing but just stupidity. Stupid thing after stupid thing after stupid thing till all of a sudden you got all these people that are trying to do stupid stuff so they can get famous for 10 seconds, for 60 seconds. It's ridiculous. But if you're trying to grow a YouTube channel, you need to make shorts. I don't make a lot of them. And the reason is when I make a short video, I make it over 60 seconds because Instagram will allow you 90 seconds. You can fit a little more content in there. I talk too much. I can't say nothing in 60 seconds. So I put it on Instagram. Well, then you got to chop it all up some more till it don't even make sense to fit it into a YouTube. YouTube needs to make their shorts 90 seconds. At least 90 seconds. They really need, they need to be 2 good minutes, really. But I mean, because I mean, if you're interested in it, give it time to see what you say. You know, do what you do. Because if it's stupid, I done went by it anyway. And if you stop on something like, really? Well, if they think, oh, he likes that, and you'll see 100 idiots doing stupid stuff. I mean, I hate the mess, but you know, at least YouTube separates it. Instagram will absolutely like suck you into it. Like you, the next thing you know, like what in the world am I doing sitting here looking at this? So I have got to where I don't make a lot of them on Instagram anymore. I was doing it because it was fun there for a while, but I don't know. It gets ridiculous. Yeah, Larry, you're exactly right. No attention span. I mean, and the next thing is self-lovers. I'm fixing to explain this. Y'all, I have read the Bible, and where it talks about men will be lovers of themselves more than lovers of God. And I've thought about that over the years. Well, I understand it now. We live in a world today. You take the guy yesterday, commented on he commented on my t-shirt advertisement where I put new designs on the Etsy store. If you hadn't been to my Etsy store, go to my Etsy store. I linked it in several videos. It was in the video I uploaded this morning. Go back and look in it in the description box. There's a link to the Etsy store. On my main page, there is a link to the Etsy store. I've got Eat 'em Raw shirts. I've got Put 'em in the Cooler shirts. Well, I don't know if I put Eat 'em Raw on there. We've got I'd Rather Be Fishing, and we've got, I believe I'd Rather Be Fishing on the back of one, and I put them in the Cooler on the back of another one. And I added a whole bunch of colors. There's pet shirts. There's new coffee mugs. There's bigger mugs. There's hats. I don't know what all I added on there this week. So go check that out. But anyway, I had plugged that. Well, there's a guy, he come in, you're a real sellout. That Temu's junk. You don't need to be selling it. Okay, well, you don't like Temu, big deal, bud. I told him finally, he kept on, and I was like, well, throw your cell phone away. I ain't got no choice in that. But here's the whole deal. He likes one thing, and if everybody else don't like that, well, he can't like them. Because if you don't think like I do, I can't like you no more. You disagree with me, I don't like you no more. Well, I blocked him because he was being a rear end to me, and I ain't gonna put up with that. We can disagree. You can like red, I can like blue. You can like purple, I can like orange. You can like, whatever football team, I can like Alabama. We can all get along. It ain't no big deal, But we live in a day and a time now where if you don't like what I like, then I don't like you. And I don't want nothing to do with you. And you know what that is? Self-love. That's because I love me, and I only like people that think like me, that act like me, and do what I do. And I don't like nobody else. If you don't vote like I do, I don't like you. I ain't even going to tolerate you. Matter of fact, I hate you. And that's how people think. Because they're that in love with themselves and that full of themselves. And I didn't understand that till I started seeing from the position that I look at the world and dealing with so many people, that you realize that's what people's biggest problem is they're full of themselves. They're self-lovers. That's what I call them, self-lovers. And everything's got to be about me, my, me, my. So I don't know. It's ridiculous the world we live in right now. But the Bible said it would be this way. So our Bible also said where sin doth abound, does grace that much more abound. So they still hope, y'all. Still hope. That dog down there trying to call them coyotes back up, I believe. Coffee cups, Larry, there is the coffee cup I had on there is there. There is also now a stainless, I don't know what you call it. It's a little more expensive with a lid on it, coffee cup. There is a 15-ounce coffee cup. auction off some things I don't need. David, I seem to think I need everything I got. It's my biggest problem. And the stuff that I have decided that I don't need, I promise you don't want it either. When I'm done with something, it's done. They ain't no auctioning off something used. Laser Addict, good night, buddy. Take care. Get your etch work done. And maybe there'll be some folks call you. Hey, y'all, M4 Laser Works, Laser Addict, he can make you some of them tumblers like I was drinking of out here. He can make you these cutting boards if you want them. I don't know what all he's made out here. And I done let this, and I got to go clean it. I told my wife, I said, get me a bottle of that bleach spray, something disinfectant. I said, because I have got to have it. I got 2 cutting boards out here, this and that, and they done started growing mold on them. I said, wood don't grow mold. Bacteria grows mold. I need to disinfect that stuff. So I was out here. I'm trying to get my Blackstone. I opened it up I cooked fajitas last night. Deer meat fajitas last night. Onions and orange bell peppers I had in the refrigerator. We chopped it all up in there and put it on that Blackstone and cooked it. But when I took the lid off that Blackstone, y'all know I got just a piece of tin I folded and put over mine. It was rusted to no end. I struggled to cure that thing. Well, I put in the regulator where I can sure enough get it hot now. And I cured it about twice, and it's solid black right now. I need to be over there right now turned on, but I'll empty that gas bottle trying to get it cured. I have struggled with that thing. But now you talking about cook. Man, if you ain't never cooked on a Blackstone or a flat top griddle of whatever your brand is you like, I just happen to have a Blackstone. I think any flat top griddle you need one if you ain't got one. Gas bottle hooked to it. That way when the power's out, I mean, you basically got a giant skillet that you can cook whatever. You can cook steaks. My brother cooks ribs on his. And salmon, they get salmon and cook it some way. You know, I got that bowl thing. You can steam stuff on top of. I like to put fish on it. I'll saute fish, and I mean, I've cooked all kind of stuff on that thing. I love it. I do want to get out here one night and get the disc blade fired up over yonder and get it doing. And you know what I need to be doing, y'all? I ain't even thought about this. Oh, well, I can't right now. Or can I? Nope, I can't. I need to get that wash pot over that fire. I got a different chain. The chain thing for it's down yonder. And I have got to clean it out. And I need to get hot water in it and go over it good. So oh, you talking about Kent Rollins, Larry? Man, Kent Rollins is a dude. He knows what he is, but now he's a real chef. He's like old Juice Stone Wilson. And put on a show. I like somebody that's entertaining and I guess that's why I ain't trying to mimic nobody else, obviously. I mean, because I'm different. But I want to be entertaining, as well as I'll teach you what things I do know. I mean, I know a few things. I don't know everything. I sometimes try to, carry on like I do. I obviously don't know everything. So to speak. Anyway, but what I do know, I want to share what knowledge I've learned. I might have just learned this today, and I'll share it with you, but I want to be entertaining. I mean, make it funny, make it worth watching. And Kent Rollins does that. Richard Gene, the Fishing Machine, does that. He tickled me the other night. I was watching something, and he got talking about old Elmo eating them beans and passing gas. Said he stinks. Said you can't fish with him. Said I can't bring him fishing because said he eats them beans all the time. And said he'll be a pooting in the boat. Said I can't. And I gets tickled. And he just go on and on about that. And then all of a sudden he's feeling like he ain't said a word. But people want something entertaining. if it's just boring, cut and dry education, I ain't gonna watch it long. You know what I mean? I might, if I need that little bit of education and I'm interested in that one thing you're talking about, I'm gonna watch your channel, that one video for that. But if it's not entertaining and fun to watch, it ain't gonna be long and ain't nobody gonna be watching it, you know? So those of you that are doing YouTube, consider that. Now I realize everybody's not a comedian, everybody is not, but you know, I mean, make it fun. People like fun. We like to have fun. I mean, when I got my coffee and I'm reared back, and I done mounted my TV in my bedroom up on the wall. We don't get to watch the one in the living room no more. I lost it. It's the big TV, but I don't get to watch nothing on it no more. It might as well not even be in there as far as I'm concerned. Brody, Mr. Master Brody, has to have Legos a fighting on there all the time. Y'all know them Legos fight? Them Legos fight dinosaurs. I didn't even know they had Lego men now, but them Legos is at war. I mean, everything's fighting nowadays. Anyway, all that's going on the TV in there. So we went in there and I put my other TV in my bedroom where I could go in there and lay up on the bed and watch TV. Well, lo and behold, my wife said, how come you don't come watch this? She said, well, if I want to lay in there and watch TV, she said, you're going to have to cut them bedposts off. And I said, do what? No, we got to cut these bedposts. You know, I got them cypress tree stumps that I made my bed out of, and the head ones are like 5-6 foot tall. Well, the ones at the foot are like 4 foot. Well, they stick up 1.5 feet above the bed. Well, we had the TV sitting on the dresser over there. Well, I realized over there where on her side of the bed, that post is dead center of the TV. She couldn't see nothing. She had to lean around off the bed to see them. So we got on Amazon for $13. I done mounted that TV up on the wall up there. So now I can lay back in my bed and watch Richard Gene, the fishing machine, rear back on them saugers, I guess, yesterday, but he'll be tearing them crappie up. He was on there last night catching them a 1 pound test line. He done throwed his pole down there and had the line by the hand. He was pulling it in like this. Anyway, I get tickled watching him, so I can lay up in the bedroom now and watch TV. And I'll tell y'all what I done the other night. We got it up on the wall, and I like to watch movies, but I like to watch old movies that I like. And I had done watched several different things on YouTube, and I really wasn't watching. I had it on. I was replying to comments and talking to people on Messenger. And when I got through conversing with everybody and got all my messages kind of caught up, I put a movie in, and I put in Gone Fishing with Danny Glover and no Joe, what's his name? Oh. And I laughed, y'all. I'm talking about them two old boys. They tear up more stuff than you can shake a stick at. I don't think they ever did catch a fish out of that whole movie. They went fishing and made a whole movie and destroyed everything in Florida and never caught a fish. But I'm going to tell y'all, when they drive up down there at that resort, the lodge, that fellow what's sitting on that porch that comes walking up there with no shirt on, I know him personally. He lives right down here. His name is Norman Walker. I'm telling you, he looks just like him. He's my buddy now, but if y'all know Mr. Norman Walker, you got to tell me that's him. That's him in that movie. I know it. I know it's him. He said the lodge. He said it was a beautiful lodge, but it's gone now. Hurricane Andrew flattened it, flat and flat. If y'all ain't never seen Gone Fishing, I strongly urge you to go watch that one. Oh, they destroyed one of Phil Beasley's Ranger boats I'm talking about. They split it right down the middle. But they did catch a killer on there and found all the jewels. They got a $100,000 reward before that movie was over. And got through in the bill of what all they tore up and destroyed and had to pay for, they had $20-something left over to the good when it was all said and done. So, Larry Alexander, I put the braid on there, but I have not fished with it. I have tried to get the crappie to bite a few times with my other crappie stuff that I normally catch them with. And if I got them biting, then I was going to turn the camera on and make a Temu video and fish with the Temu stuff. But I don't want to go like turn the Temu video on and try to catch fish and never catch nothing. And everybody say, well, that Temu stuff won't catch a fish. Because right now, the Bobby Garland won't catch a fish. The Strike King baits won't catch a fish with all the stuff that I normally wear them out with. So we've had so much water, they're just not biting right now. But I rigged one of the little telescoping pole up with that braided line. I have not had it in the water at all. So our rain right now is just so messed up that it's gonna probably be spawn season before I really get. Probably middle of February before I get. Give me 2 or 3 more weeks. We'll put it to good use. I told the lady at Temu when I talked to her, I said, well, it's gonna be a little bit. I'll make you another video fishing with it. I said, but I'm gonna have to wait till the fish is biting, you know, to make you a good video. Roxanne, she's down there trying to get them coyotes stirred back up. But anyway, y'all, you know that Temu stuff, here's my deal with it. It's China-made stuff. If you don't want to buy China-made stuff, I understand that. I mean, I get it. I respect that. I don't want you buying anything you don't. I mean, I'm not trying to make you buy it. I'm not like promoting like, hey, everybody needs to buy Temu stuff. That ain't the purpose of the videos. My deal is, well, you know, if you're already buying stuff on Amazon and you're already ordering stuff from here, there, and yonder, I mean, a lot of us, face it, we live rural. I have to drive 2.5 hours to get to Bass Pro Shops. So my best option of buying anything fishing related is to go to Walmart. And then now we have a co-op here that sells Abu Garcia and Luz and Bobby Garland baits and Mr. Twister baits and Gamakatsu hooks, and I can buy a lot of Zoom and such as all this stuff from there. So I can buy some things, but they don't have collapsible poles. I wanted a collapsible pole. I was gonna buy one because I wanted to be able to cram it down in a bag, go hiking, and be like, oh, I want to fish there. I'll be while I'm squirrel hunting and be like, oh, I want to try this old fish. And you can stick a little tray of crappie baits and a collapsible pole down in my backpack that I'm squirrel hunting with. And I could like, hey, I'm walked away in here and I'm gonna see if the fish will bite right here. So my deal was with, okay, if you're already ordering stuff, everybody's sitting here going, well, man, I heard Temu was there, I heard that you don't need to buy from them, or that's junk stuff, or this. Well, my whole deal, well, let's look and see what it is. They offered to give me a bunch of stuff to try out to see. Well, let's take it and see what it is. I won't lie to you. If it's junk, those little ferro rods that was in that thing, they was garbage. They will strike, but the striker that come with them wouldn't do it. Now, I could have took that striker and put it on my belt grinder and made it sharp where it would work, but that defeated the purpose of the video. I wanted you to see how I bought this. It won't, I'd run there, hey, that don't work. Throw it to the side, But, the poles seem good. Will they break when I put a fish on there? We're going to find out. Will the line hold up? Is it really 8-pound test? We'll find out, That was my thing. It's not that, hey, I want everybody to go to buying Temu. I'm not benefiting if you buy it. You know what I'm saying? I'm benefiting by, I got this free stuff for making the video. That's basically how this works. So, it ain't like, hey, if everybody buys Temu, I'm going to start making money off everybody that buys it. That ain't how this deal is. And, I've heard of people saying their account got attacked from fooling with Temu. But I talked to my buddy yesterday. His account got attacked from buying gas at the store right down the road. But I personally, I know a bunch of people right around here because, face it, we're rural. If you buy very much of anything, you're going to have to order it. People are ordering from Amazon every day. The stuff you're buying from Amazon, 90% of it, there's a little of it American-made. 90% of it's coming from overseas. Probably China, mostly. maybe not quite 90%, but a big portion of it is. Even if it's got American brand stamped on it, it's made in China, and then it comes here and it gets kind of re-stamped and branded for this company, and they produce. Dave Canterbury will tell you, you order from the Pathfinder School, and some of those cups and stoves and different things that he's selling are made in China, shipped to him, and they're stamped with his logo on them, and he's selling them. He tells you that in a video. So you buy, you bought from this American company, and it's China-made products, some of it. Some of it is made in the USA. But, you know, if you're already ordering, and I know a bunch of people here that are ordering from Temu, and they say, you had good luck. I have ordered several different things. I've not had a problem. For me to sit here and tell you your account's not going to get a hacked from it, I can't tell you that. You know, I have had my account hacked probably 2 or 3 times. My debit card I use, and it goes through my personal bank here in town. I know people at that bank. In fact, my brother works at that bank. So it's no big deal, which I usually don't have to contact him. Usually they catch it. In fact, the last time I was headed fishing and was trying to buy gas, my card wouldn't work. And I got online, I got to looking on whoa, man, I done got a bunch. I got every penny of it back. They shut it down before like $300 was spent, and I got that money back. You know, I've heard of people losing a whole bunch of money and not getting it back. That has a lot to do with who's backing your card. If my bank would not back my card and give me my money back, if somebody hacked it and stole my money, I wouldn't be doing business with them. I'd get a call with somebody else. That's just me. So, you know, I don't know what... we'll see if the stuff's any good. Don't know. I'm anxious to see. The one green pole that I put the yellow line on, I'm really anxious to hang a grinnell with that thing. We will find out what it is made out of when that happens. If it'll reel a grinnell in, we'll be in business. Good night, Tommy. Have a good one, buddy. Reed Mitchell made a nice wingbone call today. I have not heard turkey gobbling, but Reed Mitchell, I have not heard a turkey gobble in a long time. David Rusher, my traps are still down there in the water. Traps are still in the water. The water is back down probably where I can find them. I'll probably go to the bar and see if I can locate them and see what's in them. But at this point, I wasn't in no rush, because if anything's caught and dead, it's done spoiled as far as like me eating a beaver. Now, the beaver I caught is in the freezer. We've got to thaw it out and cook it one day next week. So I probably should have laid it out tonight, and we could have filmed cooking it tomorrow. But then the video, it wouldn't be out till sometime next week anyway, because we got Just in Time that we will film tomorrow. Anyway. Matt Douglas seems bad for business. What seems bad for business? I guess I got sidetracked somewhere. Anyway, I ordered a mop and some lights for my son's grave. Some house shoes, they were fine. Didn't use bank card. I bought a gift card. I'll tell you what I would do. If I was honestly concerned about my card being hacked, and I wanted to order. Now, like I said, first off, I ain't trying to get nobody to order anything that they're hesitant about. If you feel, reserved about something, leave it alone. By all means. I mean, you need to follow gut instincts. You need to learn how to do that. And if you feel like, I just don't agree with that website, or I don't want to use it, by all means, don't fool with it. I would never encourage you to do anything that went against your gut instincts. Don't. I'm not sitting here saying, hey, Temu's great, you need to order from it. But I would get a prepaid card if I was concerned about that. And I would use a prepaid card. Like, okay, well, I found I'm going to order like $40 worth of stuff right here. Well, I'd go get me a prepaid card and I'd put whatever on it. That way, if they hacked it, I mean, they couldn't get, well, I'll throw that in the trash, get me a nerd. So anyway, yeah, Robert Martin, right here in the backyard, they probably ain't no turkeys right around here. But now down there in the swamp, I filmed a bunch of turkeys the other day. But now, 15 foot of water, they gone. They not in that swamp no more. They flew out of there last week sometime. I killed 2 deer total. One, not to even speak of. One, I shot it one evening, and it was the only deer that had come out. I shot it, and it was so small, I felt guilty about shooting it. I didn't film nothing about it. It was about a half-grown yearling, but it was fine eating now. And then I killed 1 doe. But now I just don't have a good place to hunt, and that is one of the things. I lost interest fast. I mean, I had so many troubles. But I killed 2 deer total. That was it. I did shoot at one, Unchained. I shot an arrow right over one's back. And you believe that mama and little one, that's what that was. I found out. The doe came out by herself that day I shot at her. I'm glad I missed her because she's got a yearling with her. Only problem I have is them 2 is going to eat my peas up this summer. I'll probably wind up having to kill both of them this summer because I fought them last year. They wiped out a pea patch last year. And I'm going to probably go with electric fence this year. And if they still figure out how to get over it, because a lot of times once they figure it out, they'll start jumping it. And if they get in there and eat my peas up this year, I'm probably going to kill them. Because they right here out the back door, it's nothing for me to step out that back door and go, boom. In fact, last year, I blistered their rear ends with bird shot. So I was glad I didn't kill her this year because they eat turnip greens. I mean, I've seen them several times, that mama and little one down there, and Roxanne, she's going to bark nonstop. She don't quit thinking about them coyotes is back there. So. But the deer hunt, well, like I said, we're going to go do squirrel hunting. I'm probably going to get the flintlock out. I wanted to go shoot a couple of rabbits. The deal with the rabbits is they don't never come out till like right at dark right back here. So you just about, it's hard. It can be daylight enough that I'm legal and can shoot and see, but I can't film it if it's dark. You know what I mean? So then you trying to make a video out of things you do. Well, you look like you're night hunting because for you to see that rabbit over yonder, I'm going to have to shine a light at him for you to see him because I can see it with my naked eye and I can shoot him, but the camera don't see him. So it's hard to make a video out of it, but I wanted to go down late one evening with a flintlock and shoot a couple of rabbits and have them to cook and put in the freezer a couple. I don't need no pile of rabbits, but I'd rather small game hunt. And next year, if I don't have a deer hunting place, I am probably not even going to attempt to deer hunt. I'm going to fish and squirrel and rabbit hunt, and I'll have a gun in the boat with me or in the canoe. Now, another thing this year is I like to float that swamp. It stayed dry all year, and people could ramble everywhere because you can cross the creek just about anywhere. You just walk across it and not even get your shoes wet. And that allowed people to be everywhere, and they wouldn't know where you could get without running into people. And I don't like being in the woods with piles of people. Number one, I don't like wearing orange, and down there you gotta wear it. when I killed the deer, I had to get in areas that people weren't hunting. Is why I was safe without the orange. I knew there was nobody in this area nowhere. Of course, I knew I was going to get scolded, but I was able to walk up on a deer with no orange on. Every time I've had orange on, I spooked deer. They'd spot you and be gone the other way. So you'll never convince me that deer, they may not see orange as the color orange, but they see that orange stands out from everything else. They're not stupid. You'll never convince me that they can't see it. So anyway, I next year, unless I just develop a place, we're gonna just squirrel hunt. Me and Roscoe's gonna burn the woods up. We're gonna take him here. I want to get Roscoe out and do some squirrel hunting before season's over. We've got all of February here that we can squirrel hunt, so we're gonna do some squirrel hunting. In fact, I may take the shotgun tomorrow when we go to run hooks and paddle through and check all my hooks. And me and Roscoe get out of the boat and go make a loop squirrel hunting. And cause I've not been in that area, I can cross the creek down there and get out. I'll be on public land, so we may do that. Robert Martin, my uncle used to build boxes. He had apples that he baited them with. Uncle Sasquatch, I believe they definitely tell that it stands out from everything around it. And because with my green on, no orange, I walked up on that doe, popped her just slick as a whistle, pretty as you please. Orange on, every time I'd get anywhere in range of a deer, they was gone. Turtle leg stew. Unchained, I wasn't big on turtle. I cooked one turtle and I wasn't really impressed with it. But now we'll cook another one. If I catch one, my biggest thing I want to do this year, I want to do more catfishing. I have not done a lot of catfishing videos, not over in the summer like hand pole cat. I want to catch and cook a gar. Never eat gar. I want to try the gar. Of course, we're going to do a lot of griddle fishing. Then we're going to target several other lakes for crappie. The next thing is we're going to be taking the camper to Tom Bigby some. And somebody asked back earlier, I noticed, I forgot all about it. I was going to mention it. If I ever did any jugging, yes. But I don't do a lot of it. But my jugs are all made, ready to go. When we go to Tom Bigby, I'm probably going to focus more on jugging with Brody. Because working that line, I have to have another man to help me really handle that line and bait it up and get fish off and all such as that. It's a lot of work. Me and Brody can just go up there with the camper and throw jugs out. I can chase them around in a canoe if I don't take the boat. But we're going to go to Tom Bigby and do some jugging there. I'm going to do a different type of a vertical line I'm going to experiment with. So they're going to be a good bit more catfishing, hopefully, this year. But now I'm planning, don't hold me to it because nothing ever goes like I planned, don't seem like. You can fish hoop nets here provided you buy a commercial fishing license. You cannot put any nets or basket in any public waters in Mississippi without a commercial license. So, and I never have had a commercial license. I don't know what it entails. I've never really looked into it. Right now, I currently hold more license than I have ever held in my life. I have saltwater, I have an alligator, I have the sportsman's package, every hunting, fishing, all that you get. WMA permits, duck stamps, residential and federal. Not resident, but state and federal. Trapping license. I don't know what all. I've got $200 worth of license as it stands, and now I'm probably fixing to buy a full Alabama license because I've got invites to go to a couple of places in Alabama fishing. from some of you guys, but also there's some places like right down below Aliceville that I would like to go over and put my lines in that I'll need. If I fish from Pickensville north on the Tombigbee River because you can fish north of the Tom Bevel Locking Dam with a Mississippi license, even on the Alabama side of the state line, as long as you're above that lock, they honor a Mississippi license because it ain't a half a mile or so, or maybe a mile of river that's in Alabama territory. So, but now I want to fish down below there some, so I need an Alabama license to do that. But we're going to target a bunch of lakes this year that I have never fished. Lake Locafoma and Bluff Lake is right together. We're going to try them. We have a lake in this county that's a small lake, Neshoba County Lake. It is really a glorified pond, but it is a lot bigger than a pond. I'm going to go try it out. It has had a record 14-something pound bass caught out of it a few years ago. I mean, it has got some show enough fish in it. They say there's some good crappie in it. I hadn't fished it much. I'm going to go fish it a time or two just to check it out. Of course, I want to find crappie in Kemper County Lake. I have yet to catch crappie in that lake. We're going to do that. May not have success, but we're going to try it. I want to find crappie at Tombigbee. I have never crappie fished up at Tombigbee, but I hear there is some fine crappie fishing. But all of that stuff is new waters to me. I have really got into crappie fishing 4, 5, 6 years ago. And I have found them throughout this swamp over the years looking for them. I know where there is several holes that if the crappie will bite, I can go right there and catch all of them I want, if they'll bite. And they're only in certain areas. You'd think, well, they just all up and down to there. They're not. They at certain holes, and I don't know why it's that way. Now, when it's springtime and they're spawning, I don't know where they go. I have yet to find them down there and catch them good in the springtime, but mainly because our water floods and the water goes like the other day up to 15 foot. That drastically changes a lot of things. Uncle Sasquatch down here, they make you buy all kind of stuff. Trapping was another $27, I think, and then state duck stamps is like $12, and the federal was like 20-something dollars. I mean, everything you do, saltwater was separate. You got to pay extra 20-something dollars for it. I mean, it's a rigmarole. And now I have bought every bit of, like the alligator license. I bought right before I went alligator hunting. I got invited to go alligator hunting. And I bought everything spread out at different times. I didn't just like go buy everything at one time. So I'll have to pay attention to when it all expires. So we do have catawba trees, but now the worms are rare anymore. We used to go load them up. We would put them in some cornmeal or something in a paper sack, put them in the freezer. I don't remember exactly what we did, but we do have catawba worm trees, but I've not seen catawba worms in a while. I don't have any on my property, and I need to try to get some transplanted here. I have tried to plant every kind of tree that I need here, and I don't have that. Larry, good night. We fixing to shut everything down here shortly. We letting the fire go out. It's about time to for all of us to go to bed. I went snipe hunting one time, Unchained, but now we actually have snipe here. They got a big long bill, so I have actually been on a real snipe hunt. I didn't get left standing holding a bag in the dark. Anyway, I really did. We went on a snipe hunt. We took a shotgun and walked through a field, and I don't think we ever actually killed any, but I do know about the snipe hunting. All right, y'all, I am fixing to shut this down. If somebody ain't got just some important something they need to know or want to talk about or want to hear about or something, it's 9 o'clock. We've been going 2 hours. I'm bad to go to 10 o'clock, but y'all, we run out of things to talk about. Coffee's getting cold. Maybe this summer when it gets hot out here, we can be out here cooking some. Yeah, Uncle Sasquatch, I'm needing to go shave and shower. I like to get shaved up. I don't know. I can't stand these stubble beards. And I do this because I get a shower. I don't think about. I don't want to take time to stop shave. I ain't going nowhere. It don't matter. I'm just out. But now when it gets to where I can feel that hair, it itches, it drives me nuts, looks nasty. And you know, there's a lot of people that grow their beard to there, and they like. I can't. It looks. I like either a full beard or clean shaven. I don't nothing in between. So anyway, I don't be trying to look like them old boys in Hollywood, you know, with them short beards. I don't want to participate with with them. Oh Lord, but I need to go get cleaned up, crawl myself up in the sack because I do want to get out early and go run my lines. I don't like to leave my lines in the water when I got them baited up late in the day because if there's fish on there, they're liable to get off. I bet I got lines down there right now, limbs just doing like that. I'll think about them all night too. But now usually I have done caught one or two fish while I'm baiting them up and I didn't see a bait missing or a limb move, so it's a little bit early. Now, David, I'm gonna wait till on over in the late summer before I even order a barrel, because I want to. When I put the barrel on there, I'm gonna be gearing up to get ready, thinking about hunting, and I don't want to spend the money. I think the barrel's like $115 from Deer Creek, and that's what I'm gonna probably order and put on that rifle. Unless the Lord just blesses me with a sack full of money this summer. And if that be the case, I'll probably call Mr. Jack Garner in Corinth, Mississippi, and build me a kit. But now if I build a kit, I'm building a smoothbore. Yeah, David B., I'm looking forward to it. I've got 2 boats over there that is geared up, ready to go. New batteries in them, charged up. I mean, they are all, one of them, mine needs something looked at while it's running hot. So far, the trim's working great on it. I do want to put on mine another fish finder for the back, and I want something with a good map on it because my purpose for it is to ease along idling and look for structure in the water and the water depth. That's the main thing. I'm not looking for fish. So I'm going to probably at some point buy a new set of electronics to put up because mine, the back don't work. I got a little bitty one for the front, and really all I do is look at the water temp and the depth. And, you know, sometimes you can see a little structure on it, but it's small. It's not no... once I find them, I'll fish, but I'm going to experiment with some new places. So I've got boats ready. Last year I put it off, didn't do it. Another thing, this year Brody's kind of big enough to get in the boat and do some stuff, and we're gonna go do it. So anyway, y'all, Tyler, good to see you tonight. We fixed to shut it down. You done drug around, you late. But good to see you tonight. Y'all, I want to thank all of you for joining in and joining us tonight and hanging out, having a cup of coffee, talking about hunting and fishing and just living good. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm fixing to go in there and get me some milk and cornbread. I've been thinking about it the whole time we've been sitting here. I ain't had no milk and cornbread and I don't know when. So go get you a big glass of milk and cornbread, sit back and eat it. Think about fishing. I'm going to sit there and think about them limb lines down there that's doing like that. I know they calling my name. So anyway, y'all have a good one. Thank you for joining in. We'll see you next time. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all. All day, all night. You can go back and watch it all. Good to see you, buddy. We'll catch it next time. Every Friday night at 7 o'clock. Now, y'all, we may miss some over in the summer if I'm gone doing stuff. Like if I put the camper up on the weekend and I'm off, I can film just in time. But doing a live on Friday night might be iffy because I don't know about the uploading it and stuff. Uncle Sasquatch, he's laid up in the bed. I'll fix to go give him a good scratch on the head. Me and Roxanne, you ready to go inside? She's ready to go inside. So we'll see y'all. Y'all have a good one. Jeff, have a good night, buddy. I'm still praying for you. I ain't forgot about you, bud. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you.